Hello, my name is Nicole and welcome to my YouTube channel, where we talk about a lot of fun things, a lot of serious things, and a lot of things in between. A lot of crazy out stuff there too. So we've been talking a lot on manifestation, raising your vibration, and also we've been talking about healing, deep healing, wounds, childhood issues, past life stuff. And so now I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about more of the scientific proof and part of everything that I've been talking about. So I've been doing a lot of research. I've been researching all of this on a pretty intense level lately, like the heart-brain coherence and how it works and how everything comes together on a cellular level to be able to affect your body and affect your surroundings in your area. So I'm going to read a little bit here and then we'll get into the discussion. But this is all scientific proof that I have researched. This isn't stuff that is just coming out of my head. This is actual scientific proof, okay? To discover the key to the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. Quote from Nikola Tesla. Amazing, amazing man. So think in terms of frequency and vibration to be the key to the universe. Quantum physics is the bridge between ancient wisdom, spirituality, and modern science. Quantum physics has proven that we are all connected and connected to everything. Atoms that make up our world are made up of smaller particles called photons. A photon is a small particle of light. A photon is what everything is made up of. Me, this cupboard, the chairs, everything. Everything is made up of photons, okay? Scientists did an experiment and took one photon but needed two identical photons, twins, so to speak. So they took one photon and cut it in half to make two identical photons. They took both photons and put them into a special chamber. In the chamber, one tube ran 7 miles to the right, and then the other photon ran 7 miles to the left. Now, scientists found that whatever they did to one photon, the other photon had the same exact experience, even though they were 14 miles apart. This phenomenon is called entanglement. It is when the two things that were once one and together then become physically separate. However, the energy is still connected. So there's no longer a question if connection exists, but the question now is how deep is the connection? How much of an influence do we have in that connection, and how do we use that connection? The human heart is the strongest generator of electricity and magnetism in the human body. Our world is made up of electromagnetic fields. Scientists now claim that the human body is capable of generating 70 trillion volts. Your human body, let me say that again. Your human body is capable of generating 70 trillion volts. Think about that for a minute. So when we feel deeply with our hearts, we deeply influence and interact with the world around us from a distance. This is the core of our most cherished and ancient spiritual traditions. For over 300 years, scientists has taught the story of separation. That life is random, that we are all separate from everything and everyone, we are powerless, and we have no effect on healing our own human bodies. And we are separate from the world around us, that civilization is only 5,000 years old, and that competition is the only way to solve our problems. Those are now called false assumptions. The world that we live in today is because of those false assumptions. Science is now proving it is false, and that is nothing random, that we are all deeply connected to our bodies, deeply connected to the earth, and nature is based on cooperation. Now, if we can embrace those new truths as we solve the biggest crisis and problems, then we open up the door to a beautiful new world. So in the ancient texts, they talk about the law of one, which states all things are one. There is no polarity, no right or wrong, no disharmony. So if the ancients already knew this and taught this from birth, why did it disappear? And duality take its place? And why did duality take over? So, and why are scientists just now discovering this? That which was taught in ancient civilizations. Our science now is beginning to help us understand that it is extremely similar to what our most cherished and ancient spiritual traditions have always said. What science is telling us is that the cells in our bodies that determine our health respond to the chemistry released by the brain. The chemistry released by the brain is triggered by the human heart. Every day we have a two-way conversation between our heart and our brain. Our heart is sending signals to the brain. Based on the signals, the brain releases chemicals into the body, which we have either fear or anger-based feelings, that those send irregular and jagged unhealthy signals to the brain. And it releases a stress chemistry, which is okay for a little bit, but it's not okay 24/7. The Institute of Heart Math, and honestly, there are pioneers that are changing the way scientists even perceive the heart. The heart doesn't just pump blood. There's much more to the heart than what the doctors and everything is trying to prove. They are documenting the information between the heart and the brain. When we feel a feeling of well-being, compassion, love, etc., it sends out a rhythmic, smooth signal to our brain. Our brain feels safe. So it doesn't get the stress chemistry. So then it begins to release the anti-aging hormone and the powerful immune response to our bodies. It's called the heart and brain coherence. Optimum is 0.10 hertz. That is the same frequency whales use to communicate. So if we can maintain the low hertz and heart-brain coherence, it will begin the healing chemistry from our brains into the cells of our bodies. This will reduce all sickness and disease. Now, DHEA is the precursor to all hormones in the body. Every hormone in the body must have DHEA. DHEA increases 100% from only 3 minutes of feeling the good feelings. Even though the stress chemistry, when it is put into place, it decreases 23% in the same amount of time. And all you're doing is having a feeling. Science has also recently discovered that the sound frequency of 100 to 300 hertz will shatter cancer cells. Now, how huge is that? Think about that for a minute. 100 hertz, 100,000 to 300,000 hertz. When it is put into a body, it won't harm your normal cells, but it will take your leukemia, your cancer cells, and everything. Hey, sorry, my dog's running around. It will take those cancer cells and shatter them. Boom, shatter them. Think about that for a minute. Now, when you're talking about how much your heart and your brain affect your body, what does that mean to you? Now, we've been talking about manifestations, the law of attraction, vibration, all that stuff for a little bit now. And if you went back and you've watched my other videos, there's one on food, water, and frequency. So we're going to put this all together now. So going back into my recent past videos, we talked about water. Okay, now there was a Japanese scientist that took water, and he took 2 cups of water, and 1 cup of water he spewed hate and ugly things into that cup of water and just anything that was just horrible, and then he froze that water. Then he took another cup of water and he just had compassion and love and everything from his heart that felt amazing. He talked to that water. Then he froze that cup of water. Now what he found is when he took those cups of waters that were froze, he took the cups, and on the ones that were spewed hate and negativity, he took a piece of that ice and looked underneath a microscope, and he found that the molecules in that water were jagged and just nasty looking and just not pretty at all. Then he took the ones from the water that was frozen with all the good feelings, the compassion, love, and all that, looked at it, and it had beautiful perfect geometrical shapes. Just by speaking directly to the water, horrible things or good things. Okay, so now let's back that up a little bit more. Our body is how much water? 70-some% water? Our bodies are water. Our cells are water. So if you, with your mentality, are somebody that talks to yourself in a bad way, negative self-talk, that stressing all the time and thinking about the future and thinking about things that you can't control, but you're always frustrated about it and you're always angry, you're sending those toxic feelings, not only irritating your heart, not only are you making your body produce stress hormones that is hurting your body, but on top of that, you're also taking the water that's in your body, in your cells. Your cells are made up of water too. Everything is made up of water. So what you're doing is you're imprinting that negativity into that water, into your body, into your cells. What are you creating? You're creating sickness, disease, all kinds of things. It's no wonder men die before women. Women are taught it is okay to love. They're taught it is okay to cry and have compassion because it's the feminine side of us. Now men, on the other hand, they're taught to suppress their emotions, to be tough, to be the breadwinner, to be the one that doesn't ever cry, doesn't ever show any softness. They suppress all those emotions and have so much rage and anger and frustration in them that's just dying to get out, but they can't because it's status quo. Okay? So what they're doing is they're just killing themselves. Or if you have women, that are doing the same thing, you're creating sickness and disease. I'm living proof of this. I'm somebody that has had negative self-talk in my head for all of my life. Suicidal from 16 years old. I've been the worst to myself. I'm a perfectionist. Nothing ever I did was good enough. I had compassion for other people. I had love for other people, but not myself at all. I was the hardest I was on anybody was to myself. And then, of course, being empathic, I was taking on everybody else's, trying to help everybody, taking on everybody else's drama and just taking that in. So I'm toxifying myself from myself, and then I'm toxifying myself from everybody else's toxicity. I was a cesspool of toxic. Literally, I had like 5 surgeries in 6 or 7 years. Surgeries and mystery pains that no doctors could find, and all these things that was slowly just killing me. Until I moved and got out of all that situations, got away from everybody. I just completely hermited down and really had to dive in and go deep and try to figure out who I was, because it was like, obviously, who I was not who I really was. And learn to be authentic and learn to be me, and the more authentic that I pulled out of myself, the happier I become. And the more I disassociated with people that were toxic and had set healthy boundaries, the healthier I got also, and the happier I got. And then when I started doing things for myself, like spiritual baths and saging the house and getting my nails done and doing my hair and doing little things for myself that made myself happy, all of a sudden, it was almost like overnight. Literally, almost overnight. My aches and pains disappeared. I got off all of my meds cold turkey. I wasn't on a lot of meds, but, for aches and pains and that kind of stuff. I quit drinking. I was drinking. I wasn't ever a drunk, but I drank every day. I quit drinking. So much stuff. I had tumors. They've disappeared. Literally, I have healed. I had a curve in my spine I've had since I was a child. My back is straight. So not only am I talking about healing the mental part of you, but I'm also talking about healing the physical part of you. Mental, physical. And what has that done? Once I have done that and healed myself mentally and physically, then all of a sudden you can start raising that vibration up and keeping it up and start attracting people, places, and things to you that want to treat you better, that see the really good in you, that really enjoy you, that love you for who you are authentically, instead of all the other people that were just toxic. And it's really hard to do the raising your vibration, the manifestations, when you have negative self-talk, because you're going to throw a manifestation out there and say, I want this. Okay, you say you have a horse that you want, and you're like, oh, I really want this horse. I'm gonna manifest this horse. But in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I can't really afford another horse, or the horse is too good for me, or something, something in the back of your mind. Or you want to win the lottery, so you can be out of debt. But in the back of your mind, you have a whole lack mentality, because you're always wanting more, always needing more, because you're not satisfied inside. So you're putting that manifestation out there, but as soon as you put it out there, you're repelling it by having that sense of lack or that negative vibration afterwards. So it's like a push-pull, push-pull. You can't ever get that manifestation to come to fruition until you just completely let go of it and relax. And that's really the trick to it, is just being able to find what you're really wanting to manifest. Whether you want to write it down, you can go to the new moons, you can write your new moon intentions. The new moons are meant to bring things to you, to manifest new things to you. So you can write an intention for the new moon, or just write something on a bay leaf and then burn it. That's another way you can manifest. There's a lot of different ways you can manifest. Or you can just say, I really would like this. That's a manifestation. They're all, people say they're spells. They're all, anything you put your intentions towards or manifest as a spell, it's all it is. So when you manifest it out there, what you need to do is say your intention, say what you want to manifest, and then forget about it. Because the more you think about it, and the more you wonder when it's going to happen, and it's got to happen this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way, or it's just not going to work. I got to have blah 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 blah. Okay, that's I want it all in that order. It doesn't work like that. So the best thing that you can do is put that manifestation out there, walk away, and quit thinking about it. Then focus your vibration, which is your feel good, and get your vibration brought up so you feel good. So if you want to really make that vibration happen fast, that manifestation happen fast, find something that you really like to do. If you like to paint, you like to sing, dance, whatever you're really good at, whatever you're really fun at, whatever you really enjoy, do that for a little bit. Raise that vibration up, get that vibration high. So then all of a sudden, you start attracting that manifestation to come to you. So your vibration has to match the vibration of whatever you're wanting. Because everything in the universe is energy. Everything is energy, everything is vibration. Like Nikola Tesla said, the key to the universe, think in terms of vibration and frequency. So if you want a lot of money, you have to match the vibration of that money to be able to bring a lot of money in. And no, they've lied to you that you have to work your butt off your whole life to retire so you can finally relax and have fun. That's a lie. You don't have to work hard to get money to come to you. You have to love what you do. Find something that you really love and enjoy doing. Find your path. Find what you really enjoy. And when you start doing that, your vibration naturally raises up. And then just watch everything start to unfold. Like when you put that manifestation out there and you just turn and walk away and say, that's what I want, let's do something else now. The universe gets really busy putting that manifestation in order. Now the trick thing is, what happens is it doesn't come to you a lot of times like you think it's going to come to you. And that's where you need to get out of the way, because if you have the mindset of what you want to bring in, and it doesn't happen exactly how it is, you're going to be let down and be irritated, and then you're going to repel the rest of that manifestation away before it's even come to fruition. Okay? So if you just forget about it and say, this is what I want, I don't care how it comes, and start doing things that make you happy, it's amazing. That universe gets busy and will bring you what you want if you can match your vibration to match the vibration of what you're wanting in so many mysterious ways. Ways that you can't even imagine. I mean, holy cow. It's crazy. I have manifested some amazing things. And at first, when I first started doing it, I had a list of what I wanted, and it didn't come the way I wanted it, and I repelled it all away and was frustrated why it didn't work. So when you start really understanding how it works, you just put it out there and say, this is what I want. I'm okay with however it happens. And when you sit back, everything will just fall into place. Usually not how you want it to fall in place, but way better. Way better, because the universe knows exactly what you need and what you want. And usually the way they want to bring it to you is way better than what you could have ever brought. And so that goes back to teaching empowerment to people. And what I really am passionate about is bringing empowerment to children. Because, everybody talks about children are our future. Children are our future. But what do we do to our children? Now, I can't really attest to this because I have no children. But I see everything, and I watch, and I look, and I listen, and I just take it all in. And what I see is parents don't really want to deal with their children, so they'll hand them a phone or sit in front of the TV with movies to watch. They don't want to feed them very good, so if they're busy working, and they'll just stop by and grab, McDonald's and bring it home, or a pizza, and feed the kids, and not spend any quality time with them. And when the kids want to do something, or ask the parents for something, parents are usually too busy and they don't want to deal with it, so they just push them aside, okay? Because they don't make them important. The kids don't feel very empowered. And then there's teachers, and I'm not saying all teachers and all parents are like this, but from what I've seen, a lot of them are. You get teachers that are teaching classes, and they've taught the same curriculum, how long? Over and over and over, the same thing. So many things have changed, but they're still teaching the same thing. And a lot of them are so burnt out that they're just there to teach and get their paycheck. And the kids are not really left with anything interesting to even catch their attention. And so a lot of these kids that are born nowadays are so smart. And they get bored really easy. And so if you're not catching their attention, they're going to get in trouble. And they're going to, and then they put them on pills because they think they got ADD or autism or whatever. A lot of these things that, and don't even get me talking about shots with children, with stuff that it causes them like that. But so many kids are being pushed aside and told they're not important. And so what happens is these kids grow up, and then all of a sudden they get out of high school and go to college, and they're all of a sudden thrown into an adulthood, and they've never had to make a decision for themselves. They've never been allowed to do anything for themselves. They've never been allowed to think for themselves. And when they do think, they get in trouble because they're not allowed to think. We are all creators of our own world, own destiny, everything. We create with our mind, our heart and brain coherence. When you have a thought and it feels good, boom, your heart just like, whew, and you just, it just feels amazing. And that electromagnetic field is pulsated out into the universe. And you don't only affect yourself, but you affect the people around you. I had my neighbor walk in the house the other day, and when I was writing this, actually, and I felt so passionate about it. Like my heart was just like, poof, it felt so good to write about it because I just felt passionate about it. And he walked in, and he's just like, whoa, what's going on in here? I was like, what? And he's like, oh. He goes, the whole place is just vibrating. And I'm like, interesting. I'm just writing about heart and brain coherence and how the heart sends out the electromagnetic pulse. And that's what he's feeling when he's walking into a place. And he was 20 feet away, and he felt that vibration from me because I felt so passionate about it, so good about it, and such good feelings about it. I have literally, anti-aged my face, my body. For 46 years old, I hardly have any wrinkles. Everything is just, regressing in age. Before duality was put into place, people lived for hundreds of years, if not longer, because they didn't have that duality. They didn't have that competition. They didn't have that, I got to step on you to get up ahead. We're all one. We're all connected. Everything in the universe is connected. So when and this is what I think I want to teach the children. So when you're bullying other children, you're actually bullying yourself. When you're torturing that little kitty or that animal or whatever, you're torturing yourself. We're all interconnected. Everything. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, a dog, a cat, a tree. It doesn't matter. We're all interconnected. So if you connect all those and understand that we're all one, and you start thinking and feeling out of your heart with love and compassion, instead of having that separation of duality, what happens? It's an amazing feeling. Not only can you create your own wonderful world, my heart's just pulsating just thinking about this. It feels so good. If you can understand how it works and how the universe works and how we work, how our bodies work, you get rid of sickness, disease. You're coming up with some major inventions because you're getting out of your own way when you meditate and allowing these wonderful ideas of creation to start flowing. All of a sudden, new inventions are going to start happening. Everybody's co-creating together, helping the neighbor out, you know. There's so many things that we can be doing if we learn that we are all one and all connected and helping each other out, instead of the duality of, I'm going to step on you and push you down to be able to make it to the top so I can be somebody. But when you're up there, how good do you feel? You usually feel like shit because of all the bad things you've done to get there. But if you do it on your own out of love and compassion, and then you reach down and help the next person up where they should be, and then vice versa, that creates a lot of good karma. A lot of good karma. And what happens is, and you're going to feel good about it, things are going to start happening in your life that are absolutely amazing. It's just going to be like boom, 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 miracle, 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 after miracle, after miracle. But if all you're doing is thinking negative thoughts and putting people down, you're getting jealous over people, you're spewing lies over people, you're getting irritated over people, you don't ever laugh, you don't ever have fun. Laughing, I sing, dance, and laugh every day, multiple times. I have so much fun. And I'm by myself. I got my animals, my neighbor, that's about it. But I just have fun. If you can find just one little ounce of gratitude in something and start on that, and then just work your way up, pretty soon you're raising that vibration up and up, and you can start maintaining that vibration. That's when you start really getting the good stuff, is when you can maintain it. And that's hard, you know, because especially if you're around a lot of people, you're working around a lot of negative Nellies, because you're like whoop, 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 like I used to do. But if you can learn to have healthy boundaries, and no is a complete sentence, I've had to learn that. No is a complete sentence. No. Unless you want to, of course, then yes. Start doing things for you. Start filling your own cup. Jada Pinkett Smith, she's married to Will Smith. I watched her the other day on YouTube, and she was talking to her son and her mother. And she was so compassionate about what she was talking about, of filling her own cup. You know, that women are told that we have to give and give and give, and we have to give to our children, give to our husband, give to everybody. But we don't get anything in return. Except for when maybe the kids are finally gone, and then by that time, half the times the husband's sleeping with somebody else, and your marriage falls apart, the kids are gone, and what you're left with you, hollow and jade inside. I see that every day. And she talks about she has to take care of herself first before anybody else in the household gets taken care of. Because if her cup runneth over of love and compassion, she can give so much more to her kids. She can give so much more to her husband. She can give so much more to her family and her friends. If she keeps filling her own cup first, so much better. We need to get out of that duality mindset. It is toxic to our minds, our bodies, and our souls, and our planet. All right, I'll start preaching for now. I was just really passionate about that. I'm really excited about this whole thing. I'm really working on getting out there. I want to start. My goal, my New Year's resolution, my goal is whew, I hate even saying this because I'm nervous about it, but by January, I want to be able to get up and do a speech, my first public speech. And honestly, I would really like to start in schools, like grade schools, high schools, and teach empowerment to children, and teach children about, you know, how to empower these kids and how to make them feel good, and how to teach them how creative they are and how much in control they are. And if you can start getting these kids to feel good about themselves, that gets rid of a lot of stuff in that schoolroom. And not only that, the parents will start like, why is my kid acting different? Why is my kid being more respectful? Teachers are like, why are these kids paying attention more, and why are these kids more respectful? And then they're going to get involved, and it's just a ripple effect out. I can already just see it. It's amazing. And that's one thing that I really am feeling intensely excited about, is I want to start speaking at schools and teaching empowerment, you know, and you know, not just to schools, but to other people too, but learning how to heal deep-seated issues from childhood trauma. And God, I got so much in my head I just want to get out. I'm so passionate about it. I'm so excited. But that is one of my goals, is I'm hoping by January, you guys might have to hold me to that so I don't chicken out, because I'm still working on, I can do the videos here, good. But you get me in front of a whole bunch of people, whew, yeah, we'll see how that works out. But anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye for now.